Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up, we've got a bunch of stuff to discuss, like lightsabers, droids, there's the Lion King show, and a lot more. So from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, and points around Southern California, this is the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged. This is episode 769 of the Diz Unplugged Disneyland edition for the week of May 22nd, 2019. The Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Experts at planning the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And also, we're brought to you by disboards.com, a great tool to help you in planning your next Disney vacation, as well as a great place to continue the conversation after the show. Well, hello, everyone. I am your host today, Rhino Clavin. Welcome to the show. Pete is not with us today. Just today. He is still with us on the planet Earth. I need to stop phrasing my sentences like that. We did not have a show last week. Yes, thank you for everyone that pointed that out. If you can't find the show on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever else, the website, we probably didn't have a show. So thank you for your concern. We're happy to be back this week. And to join me for this week's show, we've got Mr. Corey Fiascanaro.
Hey, guys.
In the back, we've got Craig Williams.
Hello.
The man who makes it all happen. In California, we've got Mr. Tom Bell.
Hey, everyone.
And Mrs. Morgan Limon.
Hi.
There was a big debate about how to say your name before the show because I feel like no one's telling me the truth. So... well, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you all out there for listening and watching. We're going to dive right in. We've got some exciting stuff, and I know it seems like
before you...
I didn't ask about housekeeping. I apologize.
You didn't, and we do have some for you. We obviously know that a lot of Disneyland fans out there do like using Disboards, as you mentioned in the beginning. Have to give an announcement that if you are a fan of Disboards.com, the boards will be down this weekend temporarily, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. It will go down completely. You will not have access to it. We're hoping that it will be back up by late on Saturday night. If not, then hopefully early Sunday morning. Basically, the boards are being updated, and it is a big, massive process. A lot of the changes that need to happen to it won't even be able to be made until it's live again. So that means also that as you're using it, you might be seeing it one way and then hit refresh or go to a new thread and it looks completely different than it just did before, because a lot of these changes have to be made while it's live. So please be patient with us as everything's getting put in place. But ultimately, the update is to help make it even more mobile friendly for you. So it's going to be changes that are all worth it. So that's again happening this Saturday starting at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and hopefully we'll be back up either Saturday night or Sunday morning.
So let's dive right in. We've got a couple of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge things to talk about that have been released since our last show. We're going to start with the Build Your Own Droid experience in the Droid Depot. They've announced some more details on that, including a price which starts at $99.99. That's the starting price. But so I'm just going to read this little blurb, and then we can chat about it for a second. But at the Droid Depot in Galaxy's Edge, guests will be able to choose between a BB Series droid or an R Series droid. That would be BB-8 or R2-D2 if you're not familiar. A cast member will provide a basket and blueprints for your parts. At the parts station, guests will choose from a variety of options as they roll by on a conveyor belt, which I think that sounds cool. For a BB-8 Series droid, you can choose a dome connection plate, body sphere, and a motivator. For an R Series droid, you choose a dome, body, center leg, and side instead of side legs. From there, guests will head into the build station, where a monitor will display instructions on how to properly assemble your droid, and then cast members will pair the new droid with a remote control to bring it to life. The droids come with a carry box and instructions. Accessories such as a personality affiliation chips are also available for an additional charge. Droids use Bluetooth technology to communicate with other droids, as well as other elements and objects in the park, which sounds cool. But But here's the thing. The Droid Depot experience is limited to the builder and one other guest, one of which must be at least 14 years old. Astromech droids are non-refundable and no discounts of any kind apply. The experience is subject to availability and reservations may be required. The droids may not be operated by remote control while inside of the theme park. So it interacts with parts of the park is what they say here. However, you can't put it down and have it rolling around. You know, it's going to be beeping and honking at you through your through your backpack. Yeah.
And what I found interesting is that it says not just in Galaxy's Edge. It says Galaxy's Edge and other areas of the resort.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because that wasn't making much sense to me. Like, it would interact in the park, but you can't take it out. You know, like that doesn't.
Well, so
you can carry it.
Yeah, cast members have, or there was previews have started at this point for individuals and whatnot. And a friend of mine did go in and build a droid, and you know they look pretty decently sized. And I don't know if they bought the bag or the bag was included with it, as in that was like the kind of case. But I imagine it's a similar scenario where, yeah, like Tom says, you can carry it, or maybe it's like poking out of the bag or something like that. And so as you walk through, maybe there's like sort of that. I don't know if anybody remembers at Walt Disney World at Hollywood Studios when it was still MGM, they had a Mickey plush and it would interact with elements of the park as you carried him around. It reminds me of that.
That was a while ago too, and they already had something like that going. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, I think it sounds really cool. I think it really adds to the land. I wasn't originally into the building of the droids. I was thinking the droids were going to be like smaller. But Craig's pretty thrilled about a specific droid he saw.
Oh, yeah. No, at least I found it from one person. It's been passed around Twitter quite a bit at this point. But the Rex, DJ Rex robot looks incredible. And it's actually Paul Rubens' voice doing it. Pee Wee Herman, of course, who is coming back for Galaxy's Edge to reprise his voice as Rex. And, of course, he was your original pilot in Star Tours back before they changed it. So it looks incredible. At the same time, it all looks very, very plasticky and very flimsy. So I think ultimately, just based on what we're seeing, we'll know once we're in there. I can justify the price because of what it is and what it can do, but I would almost be terrified to like carry around any of these things because they look like they will break.
Oh, somebody's going to bump you. Yeah. You're going to shatter your BB-8. You know, so that's or crack him. You know, I don't want to say shatter. It's not made out of glass.
As a dad, I'm thinking, what's the battery life going to be on these things? How many AA batteries I got to shove in this? Or you know.
Well, don't worry. Disney will not. They will charge you what you would expect to pay at any airport, gas station,
concert.
Concert. Yeah.
When you need batteries at your concert, $14 for 2 AA's.
Plug it into my $30 fuel rod. Or...
Yeah. I do think this is cool. I feel like $100 is kind of for stuff that is still like really made out of plastic. I feel like we've taken a huge leap here in this assembly area, but I mean, only time can tell. What if these are like the most interactive things we've ever seen?
The Ride Maker vehicles, those were what, $40? The cars that we used to have at Downtown Disney, and you guys had them too. Those were what, $40? Yeah. And they didn't talk to you, so.
Well, yeah, no, those were that price. They didn't talk to you. I think you actually get to you get a little heart that you get to put inside your robot, and you can even record a message to put in there too.
I think you're thinking of Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, I was just saying it sounds just like Build-A-Bear.
Well, the droid has to have a soul. You have to give it the soul.
All right, Bonnie from Toy Story, you bringing your Forky to life now? Yeah. Well, what's interesting is I feel like the Rex is probably a pre-assembled droid too. Yeah. So those probably are, my assumption would be maybe a little bit less than you building your own because they're a little more factory oriented. But I mean, I think it's cool. I am probably on the Craig bandwagon with the Rex one because I feel like he is a character kind of that we only see in Galaxy's Edge versus, you know, making like, I feel like BB-8, making different colored BB-8s could be something you could see at like a Target and a Toy Story aisle. I'm not saying that you can, a toy store aisle. Sorry, I said Toy Story, but we'll see. I think this is a cool experience, and We'll see how it goes when we get out there. I might end up with a droid. Who knows? I'm really into the lightsaber idea, though. However, this price tag is a lot. It was so. For those of you who don't know, lightsabers, Galaxy's Edge, $199.99. So the Savi's Workshop page on the official Disneyland Resort website was updated with more about how you're going to build, how you're going to do the hand-built lightsaber experience that's going to be available. So I don't know, I feel like we talked about it on one of the shows. I don't know anymore, but just to refresh everybody's memories, there's 4 different kind of themes to the lightsabers. There's Peace and Justice, which is salvaged from scraps of the fallen Jedi temples and crashed starships in the Republic-era designs, which honor the galaxy's former guardians. There's Power and Control. This is basically like the Sith versions of the lightsabers, so they're forged by the dark side warriors. Rumored remnants of the Sith homeworld and abandoned temples. There's the elemental nature, and this theme embodies the force and energy created by all living things, like the burlark trees. I'm saying all this wrong, I'm sure. The Carthusian whale bones and rancor teeth. Then there's protection and defense, and that's materials that bear mysterious motifs and inscriptions that reconnect users with the ancient wellspring of the force. So I don't know where the elements one come from. I think, Craig, you said maybe this came from like the show or something. We had a discussion about it, and you looked it up.
Yeah. The wooden one made out of wood, out of the tree. That was the lightsaber for at least one character that was on
Rebels,
not Rebels, the Clone
Wars.
Clone Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love all this stuff too. But so guests are going to meet one of the Savi's gatherers, what they're going to be called, who will help them choose from one of those themes and then give them a I don't know what this word is, some sort of thing to identify the selection. The gatherers will then help guests select the heart of their lightsaber, similar to Craig's car building experience, which is the Kyber crystal, and that'll be available in red, blue, green, or violet. Guests will then be provided with the parts for their lightsabers based on their theme. So in addition to the hilt, guests are going to select from 2 sleeves. We'll select 2 sleeves out of 4 options. They'll have 1 emitter out of 2 options. They'll have 1 pommel cap out of 2 options, and they'll have 1 set of activation plates and switches out of 2 options. So it does sound like all the pieces are kind of similar to how the Build a Lightsaber is currently working, but maybe this is fancier because they're gonna cost $200, and they're gonna come with a fancy case as well. Morgan,
Yes.
Can you seen one of these? Maybe, yeah.
I saw a few in person. I was there at the parks yesterday, and I know a lot of cast member friends that got to go, and a few that purchased the lightsabers. And just holding it is so heavy duty, and like it's heavier, and it was crazy. And at one point, you can detach the saber part of it. And then people, you can buy an additional belt that can attach your lightsaber to it. So that was pretty cool, especially like really big Star Wars fans, like having your little lightsaber attached to you. So I think it's going to be worth the $200. My friend did, and she loved it. We snuck into a corner and turned the lightsaber on, and it's super bright. We even did it like kind of during the day. So I think it's going to be worth the money, and I kind of really want to do it whenever I get a chance to go.
Yeah, I do too. Can I ask you about if you held it? Is it made out of plastic?
I think so, but it's not like
it's like heavy duty plastic.
Yeah, like super. It's really good quality. Like the one, I don't know which one my friend got, but just the detail on it was amazing. You can't see, like when you don't have little kid lightsabers, you can see like, oh, the screws to put the batteries in. You couldn't find that anywhere. The buttons were really cool. And then the case that you get, it was all padding around it, and you can wear it like a sling over your shoulder. And we actually took it on Splash Mountain, and it was totally fine. And yeah, it's really, really cool.
So it's interesting that you have to get an extra belt to wear the lightsaber as opposed to like, I mean, I guess the lightsabers don't have the hook in them like the kids ones do to hook to your belt already. But
and so you can get sorry to backtrack, but you can get a hilt made out of wood.
Well, yeah, one of the themes of the lightsabers is that it's all nature. So yeah, there's like different they showed a photo of that on the I want to say the Disney Parks blog, and then I don't know if it was that one, but they had one on display at Star Wars Celebration, I think, in the case. I saw Ashley Eckstein with her lightsaber, and I saw the cases. The cases are super, super fancy, like heavy duty. Like this, if you've bought a Force Effects lightsaber, which are the like $150 ones, this seems like more of a personalized experience.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're building it yourself, but
Putting the heart in.
you know, when you're getting into like, how am I going to display it? You have this really fancy case now that you can bring home and display. And so it like kind of adds it to more be like, well, what am I going to do with this when I get home? And like, well, here's what you could do with it. But I would like to do this experience, I think, but it is, I mean, don't get me wrong. These prices are astronomical. See what I did there? But I am a big Star Wars fan.
AP discount.
Yeah, no discounts on this either, and the same rules apply too.
The droids too?
Yeah, the droids and this, no discount. Only whoever is building it can only have one other person with them, has to be over 14. Possible reservation system, but I think this is going to be hopping on those.
I wonder if they're going to do that over here too. No discounts.
Oh, I'm sure there will be no discounts on these super expensive things for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could end up being similar to the Banshee situation at Animal Kingdom right now, which I see those are, if they're like pre-boxed and certain types. The other day I was there and they had them for like less than, they were like, oh, these ones are $25 off. So I was like, oh, dropping the price here because it's not quite as popular as it was when it started, but. I don't know. This could be like the wands in the Harry Potter experiences. Those only got more popular and went up in price. So we'll see. Craig, are you going to build a lightsaber?
I might. I'd have to take a look at the experience, which obviously I'll get to when I get my little preview into it. And if I felt like it justified the price in the long run, I probably will. But maybe not out in Disneyland right away. I might wait till it comes to Walt Disney World, so I don't have to be that guy who's carrying a lightsaber
security,
back home.
having to open the bag.
Yeah, so I might just save it for out here as a special treat once it opens up. But I'm probably going to one day.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those. I feel like it's kind of one of those centerpieces of a Star Wars collection. You know, is a lightsaber like this, and I don't really like. I built one of the plastic ones, but I've never got one of the Force Effects ones. And I used to collect like the toy lightsabers when I was younger. And so I am excited for this experience, but if you are traveling to Disneyland for whenever, and you're planning on building this lightsaber, you have probably got to save a significant amount of space in your luggage or bring an extra carry-on bag with you, because like I saw that case, and that's a pretty big chunk out of your suitcase, you know. So
the droids too, you're going to have to reserve some space for.
Oh yeah. Well, he's going to be in the seat next to me. He gets another little. I bought an extra plane ticket.
Bought him a ticket. Wow.
Yeah. So
Carpool lane. Yes.
yeah. So one more update, or actually just two more, actually. But we've gotten also a closer look. Disney released a foodie guide for the food that can be found in Galaxy's Edge. And according to the legend, the planet of Batuu has a deep history of farm-to-table style Whole Foods with cooking traditions passed down generation to generation, influencing the dishes found in the outposts. The photos of all this food look amazing. I'll read the descriptions of the different areas again. I know we've done it before, but Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. So for that, it is a multi-purpose transport shuttle docked on top of a large hangar will beckon guests into Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, a designated location for traveling food shuttles. Docked in the hangar is Tug's Grub, a traveling diner for diners traveling. That is a weirdly worded. Run by Chef Strono Cookie Tugs. In high demand for his cooking skills, he moves from site to site in a modified Sienna Chal utilipede transport that can be transformed into a mobile kitchen and restaurant. His travels across the galaxy allow him to fill his pantry with exotic ingredients, which he uses to make new and unusual dishes inspired by his time on Taco Dana. Good Lord, I hope they release some sort of guide for how to say all these words.
Are they going to have porg wings on the menu? Different flavors of porg wings?
Pork wings, jeez. That's dark, but it's fine. This one's gonna have there are some smoked kadu ribs, which are sticky pork ribs served with a blueberry corn muffin and cabbage slaw, fried Andorian tip yip. There's yobi shrimp noodle salad, Felucian garden spread just for lunch, braised shock roast, Ithorian Guardian Loaf. Man, I wonder how long it's going to be if they'll ever change the names of some of these things, because I love this theming, but it is...
Fried chicken, pork ribs, yeah.
Well, it is like, that Ithorian Garden Loaf is a plant-based meatloaf. It is hard to say some of these things, and I feel like guests are going to be like, what?
I'd like the chicken, please.
Yeah, right? Like... the desserts look amazing. There's kids meals. There's drinks here. In Oga's, I'm just going to read the descriptions. I don't really want to go into all the individual food items. If you want to check that out, you can head over to disneyinfo.com/Disneyland and find it there. But Oga's Cantina is run by the boss of the Black Spire Outpost Underworld, Oga Gara. Oga's Cantina is an establishment that attracts some of the most interesting and disreputable characters in the galaxy. Very little is known about Oga herself. She's not usually at the cantina, preferring to collect payments remotely, and most of the locals have never laid eyes on her before. Her patrons come from across the galaxy to sample the famous concoctions offered there. These beverages are created with unique ingredients using otherworldly methods. In addition, Oga regularly procures unique shipments of beers, cider, and wines. While partaking in these thirst-quenching concoctions, guests can enjoy the music stylings of DJ R3X, also known as Rex, the former Starspeeder 3000 pilot droid we first met in Star Tours. So I'm interested in some of these drinks, like the Fuzzy Tauntaun, which is peach vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice with tangerine, pure cane sugar, and buzz foam. There's the Jedi Mind Trick, vodka, tequila. I'm just looking at all the different types of alcohol. There's rum-based stuff. So it's a full-on bar in here, it looks like. But my guess is you're not going to be able to order standard mixed drink. You just have to get one of these specified drinks here. But I will happily go in and sample all of them. I understand there will probably be a limit, but I look forward to going back and trying the difference one of these. But there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's eight different drinks. So, and then there's also ones without alcohol as well.
Even breakfast drinks too.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which they confirmed after the fact that I believe they will start serving when it does open up at 8 o'clock. So right away when you get in, you'll be able to start getting your drinks right away. Yeah. So
but just the morning ones, because the other ones say afternoon and evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
just curious.
But that's good to know, because I don't remember if it was this show or the other show where I made a joke about our Galaxy's Edge when it'll be opened up at 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be able to walk in and get a drink at 6. There's not a lot of daylight between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., so I'm looking forward to early morning drinks in Galaxy's Edge.
See, here's my thing. I'm going to wait up all night, so they're late night drinks for me. So, because there's two. The Spiran Caf, which is Peru Alta Mayo organic Joffrey's coffee, orange marmalade, rum, whipped vanilla whipped cream, and citrus zest. And then there's the Bloody Rancor, which is vodka, chili liqueur, spicy Bloody Mary mix, and Rancor bone. Ew. But yeah, that's all this food. The drinks sound amazing. There's also Ronto Roasters, which sits as the centerpiece of the Black Spire Outpost Marketplace, drawing in passerby with a large pod racing engine that's firing up on a barbecue pit. Hungry customers who queue up to order will encounter a former settler droid, 8DJB, carefully turning the spit of meats. So this looks like different types of wraps. And then you've also got the Black Spire Outpost Market, the milk stand, which is Kat Saka's Kettle. And that offers Outpost Mix, a unique popcorn snack with colorful blend of sweet and spicy flavors, and the milk stand serving two local favorites, blue milk and green milk, served as a frozen beverage.
So, what is the blue milk and green milk actually made out of, though?
There's
I had
something.
some friends that tried it yesterday, and I think it's like a coconut milk blend, and they said it's really good.
Yeah, it's a frozen plant-based blend of coconut and rice milk.
Oh, so there's no dairy in it at all.
No.
So,
My goodness.
it's all plant-based.
Oh, I was going to say.
What was that?
Tom has to get into his bunker because Flash. But that seems cool. I wonder if there's a different flavor profile between blue and green, or they just have them both and they're just different colors or something.
Well, I'm excited to try them now that I know it's dairy free, and it's coconut. But yeah, I wonder if blue's going to taste different than green.
It's going to taste blue.
Yeah. Well, blue is my favorite freeze pop. It's not, it's green. But at the Disneyland Resort, mobile ordering is going to be available for Ronto Roasters, the Milk Stand, and Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. So if you want to give that a shot when you're going in there. Also, we must not forget about the Coke products that you'll be able to get there as well. But yeah. I am all about eating and drinking at Disneyland, and it looks like there is going to be no short supply of food items that I would love to sample while I'm there. I definitely recommend checking out some of the photos. I'm curious to see what reality and expectation how close they'll fall, because a lot of these are very beautifully presented, and I don't know that it will be presented the same way or anything, but...
I have a question for Morgan. Since she has had the most contact with friends who have been inside there yet, they were given, I believe, 4-hour time blocks, the cast members. The ones that you talked to, did they feel like with 4 hours that was enough to get everything done?
Actually, yeah, they said that the ride, I forget which one it is, it was only a 10-minute wait.
Really?
To get in.
Run.
Yeah.
Wow.
They said, I believe, because they said the queue was so long, it probably took them 10 minutes to walk through it. They said the ride was completely immersive. The whole land is immersive. They got to do everything they wanted to. Hopefully, whatever amount that they had for cast members, I don't know what the amount would be, is the same amount that the reservation times will be for normal guests. Because they said they were able to do everything without with no problem. So hopefully that's the same for us. When we
was
go.
Everything open, or was only some stuff open though? Do you know?
I think they said the whole land is open except for the second ride that'll be open later.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious if for the preview they limited it to being like this one food stand, the thing or whatever. But assuming they keep the same amount that they did for cast members, that will be interesting. That would be great. I don't think that's going to be true, though. I imagine that Smuggler's Run will at least have a 32-hour wait or something, but we don't know because we don't have
something unique. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay, the unique thing is they had to check in at Star Wars Launch Bay and get a wristband before they had to go across to Frontierland to go into Star Wars Land. So I think that was really interesting. There's kind of a rumor that I heard that we might have to do that as normal guests to go to Star Wars Launch Bay, get a wristband, and then go over, even if your time slot is at 8 a.m., but that's just a rumor.
Yeah.
I also heard that they may have us, at least the later time slots, enter through Critter Country, because that's the area where Rise of the Resistance is, so there's not much going on over there at this point, so they can queue everybody up over there, maybe even go into one of the gift shops before they're let into the land.
That's going to be a little... I feel like that could run into some problems with Fantasmic is the cross traffic if their time is between 8 to 12. But it's going to happen anywhere in the park, I guess.
I saw in that Know Before You Go video for Star Wars merchandise that Disney put out just, I think, the other day. Are they putting some of the merch...
Well, that's our next topic.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up then. I'll shut up.
No. So Corey is talking about they had a Know Before You Go, and the Disneyland ambassador, Justin, he talked about the merch, and since the access to the new land is limited to only those guests with reservations, other guests are still going to be able to purchase select items in the upper level of the Star Wars launch bay, so they are using the second floor again. That's at Disneyland Park, and that will include some limited edition, limited releases, and annual pass holder merchandise. Any items that specifically reference Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will not be available inside the land's merchandise locations. For those items, you're going to find those at Launch Bay, the Emporium, Star Traders, and Pooh Corner in Disneyland Park, plus Elias and Company in California Adventure, and the World of Disney in Downtown Disney. And then some merchandise is going to be available in the Disneyland Hotel as well. Opening day dated merchandise will be found inside Disneyland Park at those same 4 locations, and that's also where you're going to find your annual pass holder specific opening day items. In addition to dated items, other pass holder merchandise is available as well at the shops listed, plus trolley treats in California Adventure. For fans looking to make their purchases on opening day, which is May 31st, the line is going to begin at 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And parking will be available starting at midnight, 12 a.m. on May 31st.
Gosh.
Midnight, May 30th, however you want to look at
Get in
it.
line now, Morgan.
I know. Here, I'll go save you guys a spot.
Yeah. But my hope is they're limiting. They said some quantities will be limited, so I'm hoping it's not like 30 per person, so it's not the threat of everything selling out. But I'm sure they just want to sell whatever they can sell. But I mean, that's cool. That sounds cool to me because, Craig and I were talking before the show. If we're already there, and we feel like, oh, whatever, we'll wait out, we can just go grab our merchandise then not have to worry about anything other than just like checking out the shops. Like we don't have to carry it around while we're in the land. I mean, I will have my Ewok backpack with me, but it's like you don't want to be lugging all that stuff around with you. You want to enjoy that full experience. So interesting,
that sounds really
interesting
smart.
stuff.
I actually saw a bunch of cast members as well carry around boxes that had like different Star Wars creatures in it that you can adopt.
Oh,
And the cardboard box was like a cage, so some creatures were smaller than others, so they didn't fit the entire box, but that was kind of cool. But it was kind of bulky to carry around. So if they're offering that before you go into the land, I think that would be a good idea to get because it was really bulky
If
looking.
there is an Ewok-related thing, I am definitely getting that. Although we shouldn't be caging the Ewoks out of their natural habitat, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anybody else have anything to add for Star Wars before we move on to other topics? No?
I'm just kind of a little disappointed that they're allowing the merchandise outside Galaxy's Edge because that was the whole thing about it being themed and only available inside Galaxy's Edge, and now it's like, well, let's put it in Launch Bay too.
I think it's probably my guess is it's probably going to be for that first month because of the reservation system.
Yeah.
But and then I mean I do and don't like that at the same time. Like making it because of the reservation, I'm okay with that because for me it's like I don't want to be super stressed about what I'm going to get when I'm in the land because I don't know why I'm even saying that. Why am I not just experiencing the land for everything that it is? Why am I stressed about buying merchandise? But we all know that's what Disney is for some of us. And
Well, I kind of like that they're doing that and having the merch available at somewhere like Launch Bay because it gives everybody who's there for Galaxy's Edge, which is going to be everybody, basically, another place to go.
Yeah.
So instead of everybody wanting to go here, they can also go there. And then, like you said, because of the reservation system, after you go in for your one-time reservation and you still want to, experience Star Wars or you want to make the most of that time, you can do a lot of your shopping outside of that window.
How do you think that line is going to compare to, say, the D23 Expo merchandise line?
For me at this point, I'm like, I don't know.
It's going to be hours and hours to get in that merchandise line.
Crazy.
I mean, the last time I was there for like the big start of anything was the start of the 60th anniversary. That when that happened on the same night as the 24-hour day, and that line was like it was just bogus long to get all that brand new Disneyland 60 merchandise. So Disneyland people love their merch.
Well, and I combine that with how it gets with the merch, how it got with the merch every year at Star Wars weekends at Hollywood Studios. It was always crazy. People always line up for that stuff. And like every weekend, there was always a line to get into the mall, the Darth Mall. God, those days are gone. Thank God. But yeah. So let's move on to some other non-Star Wars things here.
There's non-Star Wars things?
I know, right? There are other things happening in the world. Who can you imagine that? All right, so beginning this week on May 25th, the Lamplight Lounge on Pixar Pier at Disney's California Adventure is adding a weekend brunch. The brunch is going to be scheduled to be served from 8:15 a.m. to noon on Saturday and Sunday. Lunch will begin at 12:30 and dinner will begin at 4. Now, the lunch menu, I guess, is not available at the time of recording this on the official Disneyland website, but apparently there was a glimpse. We got a glimpse of some of the stuff.
I caught it on a good day.
Yeah. Did you just get it by accident? Is that what happened?
Yes. I normally update the menus every so often, and I happened to update it that day, and it was there, so...
But there's a lot of there's a brunch burger, which is going to be a grilled custom burger blend with American cheese, 1 egg up, roasted green chili, lettuce, and paprika aioli on a toasted Amish bun, served with fresh fruit. There's crab and potato cakes Benedict, egg white frittata bake, indulgent French toast, lamplight chilaquiles, New York avocado toast, sourdough avocado mash, and then potato flautas, and then a couple of those will be in the kids menu as well. But it looks good, similar pricing as the regular lunch items and stuff. It didn't say anywhere if they were doing this. Is it just that weekend, or is this an ongoing thing?
It starts that weekend.
Interesting.
But it's only on the weekends.
Okay. It sounds good. I mean, it sounds anytime there's food open earlier in California Adventure, I am all for it. That is one of those parks where you go in, and I feel like I always forget that a lot of the food doesn't open until like 2 hours after the park is open.
Yeah.
So you can go in for like extra magic hours and be like, I'm going to grab something, and be like, nothing's open. Cool.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of breakfast options in DCA, actually, yeah.
No.
Other than Starbucks.
Yeah.
And then Flows. Those are basically those are the only two I go to. Starbucks for coffee, Flows for food.
I want a cozy cone with a scramble egg scenario inside of it, but get on that. Get on that, Disneyland. Okay, so also we didn't talk about this because we didn't have a show last week, but Disneyland has added a new Flex Passport. Yeah,
so the Flex Pass, I think it went on sale as today as of recording, so it was yesterday. $599, which is a interesting price point. So there's two different levels of days for the pass. There are only 15 days that you can't go at all, which is the 2 weeks at Christmas and New Year's. There's around 150, depending on which park you go into, that you can go just go. That are they call them good to go days, and then the rest of the days, so like 230-ish days, you have to make a reservation. So if you have this pass, you go on your app, and 30 days out, you can make a reservation to go either Disneyland or California Adventure. I think you have to choose one or the other. You can only have 2 reservations on your queue at any one time. So the day you go, then you can make another one. Let's see what else. It's good on if you're a California resident, you can use the payment plan, and it has the second tier of discounts. So I think it's 10% for merchandise and 15% for food or something like that. It sounds like if it works, and if you're diligent about making your reservation, it sounds like something that will work for a lot of people.
Well, so from what I understand,
at a good value.
It's saying that, okay, here are these days during the year that you can go whatever. No reservation needed, just go whatever. These are the open days. And then there's other days where they're like, okay, capacity on these days is going to end up being limited. So for Disneyland Resort, in order to keep track of who's coming, they're basically like, okay, well, if you know that you're planning to come on one of these days that could be busier, you let us know, and then that way you can come before we block this out to other people.
And we know this is a busy day, 4th of July. We're only going to allow so many people to make reservations.
Yeah, and it is on the monthly payment plan if you're a California resident too. So for me, this sounds pretty affordable compared to how much some of their other annual passes are.
Yeah, this isn't something that I would want to get like right now in my life. I'd want the no blockout date annual pass. But back when I was in the Navy in California and we lived like an hour away from Disneyland but still like to go often, this is definitely the pass that I would gravitate towards.
Yeah.
This isn't probably good for locals, but for people that live, Northern California or Arizona or something like that come once a month or something like that and are planning their trips.
Yeah.
That's probably the perfect pass for them.
Yeah, especially if, so you, as you said earlier, so there's 15 days that are completely blocked out during the entirety of the year that you can't even plan on visiting. But, the rest, if, like you said, if you're diligent and you can work around that, but it's not open. They don't have the full year open at once, though. It's only about half of the year, right? Or is
What do you mean?
Well, so it says the new Disney Flex Passport will offer guests select days that are. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I misread it. There's 147 days with this pass that are no reservation to be worried about. That's
147 at Disneyland. There's a few more at California Adventure.
Okay. I was just thinking like that was how far out it went. It went out like half a year or something like that. But, okay. So that sounds even better to me. But it's interesting. I hope that helps some people that are in maybe that have been a little more upset about the hike of the price and, feeling like they're priced out and stuff. Still expensive, obviously, but so we also didn't ever talk about a celebration coming to California Adventure. We might have really quickly. I don't know, but there's the Tale of the Lion King, and I posted the wrong link in the wrong place. So give me 1 second. Okay. New Lion King celebration coming to California Adventure this summer. And it's a celebration of the Lion King, like we said, at California Adventure. The event's going to feature a group of traveling storytellers who will celebrate the film in story, song, and dance, and they'll invite guests to join in. There's going to be music, crafts, and more, all honoring the film in the spirit of Africa. And we did get some more information on that just recently, which is that the Tale of the Lion King is going to be a part of this celebration, and that is going to begin June 7th. The live outdoor musical production will be performed on the Palisada State. Is that how you say it? No.
Hopefully not. It's Palisades. Or else I spelled it wrong.
I am not reading it correctly.
Well,
I am having trouble today. Sorry. To clap really loud too.
I can't pronounce things either or read words right either, so it must just be a Massachusetts.
It's the stage and the viewing area for World of Color.
Okay. I just also like to add accents where they don't belong. So the Palisades State in Paradise Gardens Theater, the show is going to feature 18 storytellers of the Pride Lands, including singers, dancers, and drummers who tell reserved stories in their own contemporary style, weaving their tale through language, song, and dance. I think this. Anytime they add things, I'm interested in it. I love The Lion King, so this sounds cool. It just sounds like one of those things where maybe it's an added thing if you're going. I don't know if you're going to go out of the way to go experience this or not, but it's coming, and you can experience that on June 7th.
They haven't had much success with the entertainment offerings at that particular location.
Yeah.
Even the concerts and stuff for food and wine and stuff like that. People just walk by and don't. Not that many will stop. There's no seat. Not really any seating. So I'm hoping it's better response for this.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. June 7th, right around the corner. It gives you something to do if you're not at Galaxy's Edge across the way. So, all right. Before we go, because we're almost out of time, Morgan, did you just want to run through some of your park updates for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, something that happened about a week and a half ago, Carthay Circle opened up a new outdoor patio area. It's still on the first floor. It used to be a walkway, but now they put planters around it and a fancy little velvet rope to make it look more, I don't know, part of the restaurant. They are offering small bites, appetizers, and alcoholic beverages there. So that's pretty cool.
Is this the same menu as the rest of the lounge, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's an extension of the lounge. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, on May 24th, the Disneyland designer park ears will be coming out, and the first one to be released is the Harvey's ears, and they look really good for like Memorial Day and 4th of July. They will be $78, and they said that they have a new designer ears releasing every single month up till summer of next year, so that's kind of cool to look forward to every month. The Sugarboo and Company opened up at Downtown Disney, near where the old movie theater used to be, right next to the Starbucks. And going through.
We were talking before the show. Sugarboo's open, but also Rinse. Rinse is open.
Oh, yeah.
And that is actually outside security where the old rental car place used to be, around the corner from Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah.
So if you want to go there, it's really, really inconvenient. So, but that's open there. And then Sugarboo is where the DVC store used to be.
So they're popping in some things into those vacated spaces now, which is nice,
exactly.
I guess. But it's not going to be great for their foot traffic, probably.
Something I want to say about Rinse is their products are actually amazing. We have little booths here in World, and I get these really bad, like, throbbing migraines, and their peppermint oil mix. I always have one of those, and it helps like nobody's business.
Oh, interesting.
But if you can't get to it without a major inconvenience, it's kind of...
Yeah.
And then, of course, the last update, which I feel like is the big thing of the week, is the Sleeping Beauty Castle. So I think all the photos of it look great. What do you think, Morgan? You've seen it with your own eyes, right?
Okay, so both of the side walls are open. There's still that front big fence in front of it and the back of it. It's not really pink and blue. It's pink and like periwinkle. It's a very like almost purple color, but obviously they're going to start it off with like a super vibrant color because like weather will fade it away a little bit, but it's super, super bright in person. All the gold spires on it are just beautiful. I'm just so excited to have it back open because like it's been since late January that it's been down.
Yeah.
I like forgot what it looked like. It's been so long.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it looks great. I think it looks really vibrant. The thing I do notice the most, obviously, are the tops of the castle, the roofing, and as well as the brickwork, and the gold everywhere. I think it makes it really pop. Craig was saying that he feels he's heard some reaction online that it's not. People aren't as in love with it, but from somebody who visits out there, and I think it looks like awesome. I think it looks better than it did.
Wait a minute. So what you're trying to tell me is back when we were in Disneyland 2 months ago, the new look they're going for the castle wasn't tarps?
Yeah, I know. You think like illusion tarps, yeah. But
I like the blue, and I like most of the colors they chose. There's one spire that is like lavender-ish. It's the skinny, tallest spire of the castle. Mm-hmm. If you look really close,
I'm looking
at
the picture right now. Yeah,
I don't like it. Everything else I'm fine with. That one, it just seems out of place. It doesn't coordinate with the rest of the pinks and the corals of the castle.
Oh yeah, I do see that one
looks
is
faded.
It doesn't look like it's interesting. I was going to say it didn't look like. I thought it was just a light pink, but now that I look closer at it, it is purple. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see with my own eyes in just a little bit, in just a week. So I'm pretty excited for that. Well, that is going to do it. We have another show to do. We got to get to our Tuesday show. So thank you guys for having this conversation with me. Thank you everyone out there for listening and watching. If you want to leave comments on YouTube, please feel free to do so. Please feel free to rate and review the podcast on iTunes as well. We do love constructive feedback. Future topic ideas, leave them in the discussions that you want us to have, all that stuff, please leave that in the comments. You can send it to us on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to send it to us, send it out to us. That would be great. We'll see you next week with another episode of the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged. Bye, everyone.